What else did you expect her to, what kind of response do you get for that? When you just literally just float to someone's window like the undead. Can you guys bring this inside? I mean, I'm romantic, but get inside! Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Moving. We're now into episode 9, which is called Humanists. So, haven't quite heard that term before, but I gotta think that it means you're pro-human, which, good. But anyhow, in the last episode, we had a flashback. We now see how Bong-suk's parents, Dooshik and Mihyun, met many years ago at this agency that they both worked for. We found out that Dooshik was called an agent, a black agent, and we find out that Mihyun almost became one, but there was a mission that she failed. Well, the term failed is relative because she actually purposefully failed the mission because it was pretty crazy. It was a mission that would have had her doing something that she clearly had a moral issue with, so she botched it and lied and said that her eyesight was damaged. And I'm assuming that's so that she never had to go back in the field again. But anyways, she ended up being on desk duty until she was asked by the boss of this area that to go and get close to Dooshik. He said that it was because he wants to find out if Dooshik's going to be a good agent on this mission he has planned for him. But really, I think it's part of his secret plan to start a breeding program for people with superpowered abilities. So I'm not sure, but that's my prediction at the moment. So a lot of the episode was the two of them getting to know each other. And by the end of the episode, Dooshik finally lets Mihyun know that he's very aware of the fact that she's doing this because she's been asked to, because we find out at the end of the episode that he's actually known who she is for some time. He was part of the mission that she purposefully botched, but he, I guess, was supposed to either take her out or take other people out, something. I'm not sure exactly what his mission was, but either way, he didn't do it. They were in his ear telling him to do something, and he took his earpiece out, and you see him just staring at her. And he actually said one of the sweetest lines ever, where he said that as soon as he saw her, he fell for her. So I think that she thought it was like when they met in their coincidental meetings, but really it turned out it was because he'd seen her before and I guess fallen from her from that point. So very interesting, very cute, very K-drama, and I'm down for it. So that's where we ended the episode, with finding out that Dooshik actually knew about Mihyun long before she did, so that there's this connection there. And also we found out that Hisu's father worked with Bong-suk's father. So very interesting that their two kids are actually like together now as friends, at least at the moment, possibly more. I just think that's really interesting. So I do wonder whether or not both of them knew about each other's kids. Without further ado, let's get into the episode. But just before I do, a reminder that I do a lot of different reactions here on this channel. And if you're enjoying it and you'd like to support me on this journey or any of the other ones, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, please give it some love with some likes and put some comments below. I love reading them and interacting with you guys. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right about now. Fair warning, guys, I'm a little bit tired tonight, so I might be a little fumbly with my words. I'm going to do my best to be articulate. Oh, you better strut. You know how highly unfair it is that she's so pretty that she's making the most basic button down look great? I wish I could rock a button down like that, but they don't work out for me. Oh, her hair's out too. She usually puts it back. She is hunting, guys. She is hunting. I don't blame you, girl, because showing some. Damn. What? Why? What, is she the boss of this department now? Yeah, exactly. Why do you have to walk on eggshells? What is she gonna beat you all up? They weren't acting like that before. What happened?
커피 가져다 드리겠습니다.
물이나 받아와.
Says he does not like your coffee. Oh. Oh no.
어째 저건 자판기보다도 쓸모가 없냐?
Wow. You could just fire her. You don't need to belittle her.
전에는 안 마시나?
괜찮습니다.
I hate coffee. Unless it's with my man. And you ain't him.
네?
이 작전 계속 하시면 안 되겠습니까?
Can I?
왜죠?
Ma'am.
위해서인가요?
내가 원해서입니다.
Okay.
그래야 미연 씨를
Mm-hmm. Spend time together?
있으니까.
Yeah, hello.
김도식은 어떻든가?
Well, he's hot. He's funny. Did I mention that he's hot? He's kind of hot.
야근하다가 먹을 수 있는 배달 음식이 중국집뿐이거든요.
아, 두고 봐요. 아이, 이게
Sir, you licked it? Mm. This is why I wear dark colors a lot, especially if I'm going out to eat, because I am a messy eater. I wish I was far more dainty, but if it's something light colored, I inevitably spill.
아, 하얀색 좋아하셨구나. 아래를 이렇게 내려다 보면
아니요, 전 보라색 좋아해요. 보라색.
Damn.
보라색이 좋아지더니 언제부턴가 보라색이 제일 좋더라고요.
Sir, I don't think you should make any more assumptions.
보라색 좋아하면 미친년이래요.
She kind of is, though. Low-key, I feel like she actually could snap.
부러졌네요, 두식 씨 앞에서.
그래서 좋습니다.
원래 어떤데요?
빈틈없고 냉정하고
Oh,
거뭇하죠.
equally hot.
한 사람이었습니다.
Ah. She's going with what he said.
그런 건 알아낸 거 없고.
어떤 걸 말씀이십니까?
몰라?
No, I don't.
김도식의 비밀을 모르네.
비밀이요.
The way he was acting before, I would have thought he would have expected.
노력하겠습니다.
열심히 해. 이건 정식 작전이야.
It's not sounding very official, as we have it in this dark room in the back, alone.
무채색 계열의 옷을 입어요. 검정색이 제일 무난해요.
Damn. Take away all your personality.
전국으로 신고요.
Wow. She said you need to make yourself as basic as possible.
그래서 그렇게 아침마다 쥐새끼처럼
문 닫겠습니다.
뭐야 문 왜?
Oh, because you're being rude to me.
우리 부서 직원들 중에서는 그 누구도 민 차장님하고 아직 말도 섞지 못하는데 우리는 그냥 차곡차곡
All this yelling and you're still not an inch taller, ma'am. And that hair still looks awful.
제 직책은 분석관이고 제 직급은 6급 주사입니다. 이미연 씨, 또는 이 주사로 불러주시기 바랍니다.
Period. Recognize my rank since you wanted to bring it up. Sir, you're gonna give her a heart attack. Not this. Right?
김두식 씨?
So you're a vampire.
여기 5층인데.
Great.
아, 놀랐다면 미안합니다.
What else did you expect her to, what kind of response do you get for that? When you just literally just float to someone's window like the undead?
하늘을 날아요?
I mean, that or you're high. One or the other.
나름 돈가스.
Why? Oh my god, he let Bongsuk. He acted so much like Bongsuk right there.
김두식 씨. 고마워요.
I mean, that's pretty great delivery service.
맛있게 먹어요.
Not him running away. Sir. This explains the poor cutlet thing. Why it's so important to her and why she gives it to Bongsuk every night. Look at that damaged vision of yours, huh? Oh, okay, just hang out. Not him grinning like an idiot. You got caught, sir.
항상 한 곳만 집중해서 쏘시네요.
즉사시키지 않고 제압할 수 있는 부위니까. 뭐 운이 좋아서 응급처치를 받으면 살아남겠지.
아, 표적 살인 외에
I mean, isn't that what you should be trying to do? You're not an assassin, are you? Use the door this time.
반갑나 봐요.
우리 어제 봤잖아요.
She's like, you're not that easy, sir. She is, but you can't play that way. You know, you gotta make them sweat a little.
난 청력이 좋다고요. 아주 많이.
He's like, okay.
평생 어두운 쪽 일만 하고 살았습니다. 그래서 사람을 많이 못 만나봤습니다.
Guess you'd have to be if you fly.
장난처럼 보였다면 미안합니다. 사실 다 진심이었습니다.
I think that's pretty obvious, though.
진심인 거 아니까 지금 이렇게 같이 있죠.
Okay.
아까 말했잖아요. 난 청력이 좋다고. 아주 많이.
Like, very good.
난 지금 내 비밀을 알려주고 있는 거예요.
Like, do you get what I'm saying when I say very good? Oh, better mind you don't make this man
그런
float.
거야?
Mm-hmm. He's like, it's getting worse and I can't slow it down.
너무 빨리 뛰네. 이러다 죽겠어요?
아니, 죽어도 좋습니다.
The girl, the wrist. He's like, who needs to live? There we go. There it comes. I was like, really? He just grounds himself through this? Definitely hereditary. Poor Bong Sok. So this is a thing that happens. If we ever get together, we're gonna have to, like, you know, be in a very, very, very low ceiling room. So is that basically the equivalent of kicking up your foot when you kiss? Trust those trees. What?
고민해봐요.
Okay.
인천 엄마다.
Let me turn this off. Ew. Sir. Summit, North Korean Il-sung expressed desire to. God, it's too fast. Hold on. I don't know. I feel like you need to pay attention to these for a summit. Okay.
자주 만나나?
네.
많이 친해졌어?
네.
Yes.
잤어?
Didn't I say he was going to ask? Didn't I say it? I said so. Pervert.
아직 모르겠습니다.
Oh?
아직도 몰라.
네.
She said, not on my man. I'm not telling on him. My man, my man.
인물을 종결하지.
임무 종결이라고 하셨습니까?
What?
잘해줬어. 가봐.
You and your kaba. Oh, she's wearing the darker clothes. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, when you're a secretary for people like that, you don't get to go home till he does. You couldn't pay me enough.
그렇게 중요한 인물을 그렇게 말도 안 되는 실수로 망쳐버린
그게
사람한테
실수였다고 생각해?
Thank you. She's not a dummy.
마치 누군가 일부러 놔준 것 같은 느낌이 들어. 이미연은 모든
Yes, recognize she would have beat your ass in her scores, okay?
싸구려 휴머니즘.
휴머니즘이요?
She... These transitions sometimes, God.
그런 인간 또 있었잖아. 누구야? 김두식이.
Look at you just spilling everybody's beans.
지 혼자 사람 살려보겠다고 지 목숨을 걸었지. 아주 휴머니즘이 흘러넘쳐.
So that was the plane,
아니, 그러니까.
right? 7 years ago. Yeah, because the thing that in China was, they said was 2 years prior.
그 철두철미한 김두식이 왜 실패했을까? 정말 실패했을까?
Wow. So Min already figured out that he must have had something for her. Or, I mean, it had to be a stab, though. Oh, no, because he was supposed to take her out. That's right.
근무 수칙을 어기면서까지
그건 또 어떻게 하세요?
내가 봤거든.
So he knew she lied. That's why he was so calm. Okay, sis. This is what you do, ladies. You need to look out for each other in the workplace, okay? Don't have to be dog eat dog. She helped her. Now she gave you the heads up. The way it's so funny that her glasses are actually impeding her vision. Oh. So, okay. So that's how he knew she was lying. Because that was my next question is how did he know? Because I don't see Dooshik being the one to give it up. Not her being able to pick locks. How many secrets does this woman have?
너 시키는 일이라고.
Dang. He been watching you since day one. She got played twice. Once by Dooshik being like, girl, I already knew you, and now knowing that this man's been watching her. But also, why would she expose that now? Because now Min's gonna know that she... Okay, fine. All right.
왜 이렇게까지 하시는 겁니까?
자넨 자네 일을 했고, 난 내 일을 한 거야.
저에게 맡겨진 일을 맡기시려고 하시는지.
근무 수칙 잊었나? 네가 그나마 일을 잘해줘서 만나준 거야.
Tolerant. This man would have gotten hot coffee in the face. Dead ass. What's he gonna do about it?
이혜송 1941년생 아내와 사별 후 뇌경색으로 8년째 요양 중 경거주주 양평 요양병 의료비 요양비까지 웬만한 월급으로는 감당이 안 될 텐데 매주말 내려가더니
Oh, okay. So now we're threatening her. Okay.
아버님 국가가 잘 보살펴드리고 있으니까 안심하고
You gotta take this man out. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him. Put a little something in his coffee. Why did he aim for the other target? Wait, why are there so many men? And off he goes.
7월이 되었다. 그는 오지 않았다.
Oh. What? Wait, so he was the one who wanted to do the summit, right? Kim Il
남북
Sung.
정상회담이 열리기까지.
Right? There was the summit. He was the one who wanted to go, right? And he's suddenly dead. And he's been watching things about the news have been mentioning something about the North and South.
아 씨발 이거 어떻게 된 거야? 왜 피살이 아니야?
Why isn't it? So he sent Dooshik to take him out, but he had a heart attack.
김두식 우리 조직원이야. 그 새끼가 뭐라고 나불거리냐에 따라서 우리 조직에 존폐가 걸렸다 이 말이야.
Okay. What would he say?
니들 조직 있는 데 총동원해서 당장 이 새끼 잡아와.
Your divisions.
그는 안기부 전체에 적이
But I
되었다.
don't understand why. Like, was he not sent on this mission? But I guess because he disappeared. But he said, why was it an assassination attempt? So, I mean, my thing is, if it's just to take out the leader, he did it. So, why would you want it to look like that unless you wanted a problem?
나도 그와 마찬가지였다.
So they're watching her. Aw, are going through all the motions that they used to go through together. Going for the cutlets, getting coffee.
여전히 만나보지 못했다는 그는 모든 것이 서툴렀다.
Exactly, which is why he's not going to be able to give up on you that easily.
모두 진심이었다.
But Sir, you really? You can't just be popping up at people's... Get inside, what are you doing?
보라색?
Oh, right, her curtains.
죽을 것 같아서요.
I was like, sis, can you guys bring this inside? I mean, I'm romantic, but get inside! Before a neighbor sees you? Oh. Oh. Well, never mind.
진심이었다. 아니, 사랑이었다.
Yeah. He wasn't ever gonna leave you forever. Damn, why is he letting himself get captured? I don't understand. He could have grabbed her and flown off before anyone would have been able to fire off a round. I don't understand. Why? Right? And with his power, he could literally have flown anywhere. Could have taken her to Europe. I mean, I guess they would have needed paperwork at some point, but I don't get it. Okay, guys. Well, that was episode 9. And again, we were following Dooshik and Mihyun. We see that they were continuing their, fake mission, even though they technically Mihyun failed because she was supposed to be undetected. At least that's what she was told, was that she was supposed to get close to Dooshik without him realizing it. But we know that he said, let's just keep it going. Like, there's no reason for us to stop this. We get to see each other. We enjoy each other. So why tell Mr. Min that we failed? We can just keep doing what we're doing. And I really like that he was just very understanding to her. Like, he's like, I know that you're doing this because he asked you to. Like, I know you didn't have any like bad intent with why you did it like this. I know it's not about you. It's about him. And so we see, yeah, like she agreed. She was already falling for him before this started. And he's just so, like, he's like Bong Sok. Like, Bong Sok just lets everything out. Like, he very much wears his heart on his sleeve and he's unapologetic about it. And now we see that he gets that from his dad. His dad is the same way. And like he said that, which is interesting, that he said he's always been in the shadows and he doesn't interact with people much. So I definitely have questions about kind of like how, like what happened. Like, did his parents have to hide his abilities the same way that they've had to do for Bong Sok? like why was it quite like that? Because that's exactly what Bongsuk's upbringing was like for the most part, except at least he got to go to school and interact with people, right? So I don't know if that's the same with Dooshik, if he got to do that too, but his choice of wording is very interesting that he's like, I was always in the shadows and it made me socially awkward. So we see that eventually Dooshik shows Mihyun his secret, right? Because that's what Min's like, we need you to find out his secret. I need you to know what the secret is that he's hiding. And she's like, what is it? And he's even telling her, like, if it takes, if you got to sleep with him, like, let's not even get into how inappropriate that was. But he was basically like, you do whatever you have to do, use your body if you have to, but get the secret out of him. But anyways, thankfully, she's a woman of moral integrity and refused not that. Let me take that back. Let me not say that, because I know that sometimes if it's your job, and especially since this does not look like it's an above board organization, I understand the pressures that are put on some people. But I should say she was determined not to do that. And thankfully she didn't have to, because Dooshik's not that kind of guy. But anyway, he finally does show her his secret as they continue to bond. And he shows her that he can fly. And she's like, whoa, okay, that's kind of cool. But she's someone with power, so I'm thinking that this isn't necessarily blowing her mind that much. She probably just didn't realize that that's what he could do. But anyway, shortly after that, we see Mr. Min asks her whether or not she knows his secret yet, and she lies for him, which I'm glad she did, because that means that she cares about him more than the mission. Because I wasn't really sure up to this point. Like, obviously I knew she was attracted to him, but just because you have a crush on a guy does not mean you're willing to give up your career over it, right? So anyway, she did cover for him though. And we see Mr. Min's like, okay, good, you're done, thanks. And of course she's like, what? Why? And I was the same way. I'm like, why? Like, she didn't get you what you wanted. Like, why would you be okay with that? But then I realized it's because she did give him what he wanted, and that he's been actually filming the two of them from the day one to make sure that things didn't go off track, I guess, or to see whether or not they were actually progressing. And so he already knew that she already knew, and that she lied for him, which is what he wanted. So now we find out with him talking to, God, her annoying boss, who's got a weird heart on for just trying to humiliate her. I'm so glad Mihyun is like, little girl, you can't even play with me right now with all this power tripping. But anyway, we find out through their conversation that the real reason that he wanted Dooshik and Mihyun to get close was because he realized, because of their first mission that didn't go well, which apparently he was the person who looked into it. He's like, they're very similar. Like, they both chose to let those people escape when they didn't have to. And they're both extremely good agents. So that shows that they have the same, basically, moral belief system around taking lives or not taking lives if they don't have to. And we saw that too in the shooting range, where Dooshik was showing that he's perfected the shot that will take out an opponent, or at least disable them without necessarily killing them instantly. So he was like, they're both, what do you say, like cheaply humane or something, like as if caring about human life is cheap. Like, what? Min is a problem. But anyway, so he's like, they're both similar. So because they have that similar ideology, I think that they'll like each other. And more importantly, he was saying that Dooshik doesn't have any family. He has no ties to Korea. So he's like, I need something here that he cares about, so he'll come back if I send him out on missions that are risky. And so that I kind of understand. That does make sense, because emotional connections are the strongest that we have as human beings. And if he didn't have anything else, then that was a really strong, compelling reason. And also, let's face it, leverage, right? Now that he has someone that he cares about, we saw that Min threatened Mihyun's father, or threatened that something could happen to Mihyun's father, basically, if she didn't stay in line and do what she was supposed to do with this mission, or she went off course. So you can imagine what he would do to Dooshik, right? If Dooshik doesn't do what he wants, now he has her, because he knows Dooshik cares about her. He can hold that over Dooshik's head, right? So it was all kind of part of a bigger plan for Mr. Min. And obviously we see that poor Mihyun, when she figured it all out, felt pretty upset and stupid that she didn't think of it before. But why would she? She had no reason not to trust Mr. Min, or to think that he'd have nefarious ulterior motives like he did. So that part was rather sad and frustrating. But anyways, we see that eventually it looks like it had to do with it. I'm just guessing that, because the headlines kept popping up, but I'm thinking that this agency did not want this summit to happen between North and South Korea, which I'm not sure why they would want that. Like, usually summits are to discuss possible peace, which that would be fantastic, considering how long that war has been going on and how sad it's been for the separated families and all the other things. But anyway, we see that he sends Dooshik on a mission, which we find out later was to go to North Korea and I guess to take out their leader. But he was gone for far too long, and apparently this man now died of a heart infarction. Was it infarction they used? I think they said infarction, not infraction. But anyway, something with IN in the beginning. So he had something wrong with his heart and he died. And so they're I guess it's just looking like he died of natural causes or some kind of medical issue. But we see that Mr. Min said, why was it not an assassination attempt? So I'm thinking that he was supposed to, Dooshik's mission was to go and make it look exactly like what it was. And I'm thinking that that was supposed to somehow set off some kind of issue that would stop the summit from happening. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. But anyways, that's not what happened. And Dooshik didn't return from the mission like he was supposed to. And we saw that Mihyun kept saying, like, I waited for weeks and weeks and he didn't come back. And I realized I was being watched. And that, like, you know, clearly there was a problem because people were looking out for him and no one would be stalking me and my family, or sorry, my family is her dad and my life unless Dooshik was in trouble, right? Because they wouldn't be just doing that if they were casually wondering where he was. So we see her, she said that, you know, basically I became a prisoner and it was kind of because of him. And she's like, I kind of feel bad because now he does have to come back because of me, right? So anyway, kind of sad when she realized the trap she'd fallen into, or they both had fallen into inadvertently. But then we see at the end that Dooshik does in fact end up showing up. And I'm thinking again, I get it why he couldn't stay away because of what he said was true. And we saw her talking about it at the end. Like, he finally found somebody who knew who he was, knew everything about him, and still liked him and cared for him and loved him. He's not going to walk away from that, right? Because again, the strongest thing we care about as humans is connection. Like, emotional connection is one of the strongest things we have. So he really had no choice but to come back, right? He couldn't just imagine leaving her there. But the point, like I said, I just don't get why he didn't just grab her and go. Like, this was the 90s. He could have disappeared just about anywhere and never been found, because it's not like it is today. Like in the 90s, there wasn't, you know, mass surveillance like we have now. There wasn't GPS that could follow you everywhere like they have today. Like, they literally could have gone to another country someplace, found a remote place, started a whole new life, and they would have never been found again, right? Like, or maybe eventually, like maybe by the time they got to now, they would find some things. But you know what I'm saying? But 20 years later, 30 years later, they're not going to look. They're not going to care. So it's just strange to me that Dooshik didn't just take the quick, easy escape. But I guess he couldn't really force her into that. He would have to ask her, right? He couldn't just force her to leave her life, I guess. And she did have her dad, so maybe she wouldn't have gone. But anyways, it's just strange to me that he let himself get caught. I'm not sure why he did that, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, really sad in the end where he just kind of came back and just started crying with her, because I think he was just like, and when he said, I thought I might die, like, I don't know if he meant on the mission or he just thought like not ever seeing her again. But either way, desperation is what brought him back, and she clearly saw that. And yeah, it's tragic that they got reunited and it looks like they're about to be separated again. So yeah, very interesting episode. We got a lot of information, kind of a lot more background again, really seeing how Mihyun and Dooshik came together and started to fall in love, and I'm really liking their story. They're so likable as a couple. Great chemistry. But yeah, I'm just interested to see like what this bigger plot is here, because yeah, if he's being taken in, what does that mean? Is this like, I don't know, like what's going on? Like, is Bong-seok already, like, is he already gestating in there? Like, it doesn't look like they took that step, but like, what happens if he gets captured? Does he get back out again? Like, I have so many questions. So I am looking forward to the next episode so I can get those answers. But in the meantime, this was a great episode and I enjoyed it a lot. So I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love to this video and let me know in the comments below. And we will see you in the next episode.